tuning in. My name is Kriskaya with Dual Sky Yoga, and in today's practice, we'll take you through a gentle hip opener that you can do whenever you find some time throughout the day, either in the morning or in the evening right before bed. You'll need 2 blocks if you don't have a block. Any hardcover large book will do, and a yoga strap or a belt, and either a towel or a blanket. So we will start on our backs in constructive rest. So come onto your backs with your knees bent. The soles of the feet will be planted on the mat. And take a little lift of the hips and reach the tailbone down towards the heel. So you'll feel the low back flatten slightly. You can place both of your hands on your belly, or maybe one hand can come onto the heart and one hand on the belly. Bringing the eyes to close, take a few settling breaths here. Slow and steady inhale through the nose. Slow and steady exhale out the nose. Seeing if you can match the inhale with the exhale. Feeling the chest and the belly expand against the hands with every inhale. And soften with the exhale. Take one more round on your own. And then come back to your natural breath. You can flutter the eyes open, release the hands alongside the body. On an inhale, draw the right knee in towards your chest, grabbing onto the shin or the back of the thigh. And then begin to take a few hip circles here with that right knee, as if you were painting little circles with your knee on the ceiling. You can take the circles small, or you can take the circles wide. Just bringing a little mobility to that hip joint, that hip socket, and making sure to circle in the opposite direction. Following the breath, slow and steady inhale, slow and steady exhale. Come back through to center. Grab your strap. Loop the ball of that foot. On an inhale, bring that foot a little bit closer in towards the torso. And as you exhale, begin to extend that right foot up towards the ceiling. Okay? Sliding the hands down the strap so that the backs of the arms, your forearms, are resting on the mat. And it's quite all right to have a little bend in the knee if you feel too intensive a stretch in the back of the leg. You can bend the knee. Otherwise, you can keep the knee straight. And you're not tugging on that foot, you're resting the backs of the arms on the mat, and you're just gently guiding that leg up, pressing through the heels, spreading the toes. Big inhale. And as you exhale, slowly begin to bend the knee, removing the strap, placing the strap aside. And then bringing the left knee in towards your chest again, either grabbing onto the knee or the back of the thigh. And take a few hip circles here with that left knee. Energy through the toes. Making sure to circle in the opposite direction. And coming through to center, bring the knee back in towards the chest slightly. You can either grab your strap or grab the back of the thigh, and on an inhale, exhale, go ahead and straighten that left leg. Trying to draw that hip point forward on the mat. So you can bring your thumb right to the little hip crease there where the thigh meets the hip socket, and just gently nudge it forward, creating a little space in between the thigh and the hip joint. Big inhale. And as you exhale, slowly bend the knee and place the sole of the foot back onto the mat. Draw the right knee back in towards your chest. Give it a little hug. Inhale. And then as you exhale, cross that right ankle over the left knee, making sure that the ankle crosses the thigh completely. A slight external rotation of that right thigh. Staying here, or bringing the entire shape in towards you on the inhale. It's like a figure four. You can either grab onto the back of the thigh. If that is not accessible to you, you can just grab onto the shin. But keep the connection between the thigh, the knee, and that ankle. Both feet are flexed. And you can stay here remaining in stillness, or perhaps take a few side to sides with the hips, noticing how that changes the sensation of the outside of the right hip. Come back through center. Inhale the shape just a little bit closer towards the body. And then as you exhale, bring both knees in towards your chest. Take a little circle here with both knees massaging the low back. Going in the opposite direction. And leaving the left knee where it is, go ahead and drop that right foot down onto the mat, bringing the left knee in on an inhale. And as you exhale, cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Trying to bring a little external rotation here of that left knee. Again, staying here. This is completely fine. Or inhaling, bringing the entire shape in towards you, grabbing onto the back of the thigh or the shin, the knee, whatever you can reach. Both feet are flexed. Another inhale. And as you exhale, bring both knees back into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And drop both feet down onto the mat. One more pose on our backs before we move to seated positions. Bring the right knee back in. And cross the right thigh over the left completely. So you're threading both of the thighs together. Inhale, bring both knees in towards your chest. And you can grab on to the knees, or if you can reach both of the feet, you can come into our Supta Gomukhasana. Again, taking a little sway side to side, noticing the sensations on that outer hip, the inner hip, excuse me. Coming back through center to stillness, unwind the legs, bringing the knees in towards the chest, inhale. And exhale, drop both knees down. This time, draw the left knee in and cross the left thigh completely over the right. Inhale, bring both knees in towards the chest. And once again, either just grabbing the knees, or if you can reach the feet, grab onto the outer edges of the feet, staying in stillness or creating some gentle swaying side to side. And then come back through center. Unwind the legs, drop both feet down onto the mat. Raise the left or right arm up and overhead as you gently turn over to one side, using that arm as a pillow. Pressing into both of the hands, come up to a comfortable seated position. So we'll start today in Sukhasana, ankles crossed in front of you. You can bring your blocks in as well, placing them underneath your knees. And it's always nice to sit on a folded blanket or towel, coming to sit on the edge of that blanket or towel. Take a big inhalation as you reach both arms up and overhead, relaxing the shoulders down, palms are facing each other. Try not to puff up the chest. So knit the ribs in. Inhale again. And then exhale, release both hands down beside the body. Inhale, reach up. exhale, release down. One more time, inhale. And exhale. This time, bring the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana, and you can either close the feet so the toes are touching, or you can just open them up a little bit, give them a little rub, a little massage. Nice tall Tadasana spine. So bring the low belly back and in to protect the low back. Relax the shoulders down and keep reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Big inhale. And as you exhale, begin to take some rolls here, some body rolls. And try to keep the spine nice and straight in these body rolls. Imagine that your torso is the handle of a spoon and your pelvic area is a pot, and you're mixing the pot. Making sure to switch the direction of the circles. Using the breath. Come back through center, big inhale, reach the chest up, maybe lift the gaze. And as you exhale, take a little micro bend, again, keeping this spine nice and straight. Try not to round over the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears. And you'll notice the further you go forward, the more intense the stretch on the inside of the thighs is. Gentle engagement of the low belly as you inhale, come back through center. Keep the left leg where it is and extend the right foot straight. The right leg straight and grab your strap. Place the strap on the outside of that foot and leave it there for now. So press through the heel, spread the toes, and you're also pressing through the ball of the foot. So that foot is nice and engaged, and you'll feel a gentle stretch in the back of the leg. If this feels like too much, you can bend the knee a little bit. And once again, utilizing your blocks, if that knee, that left knee doesn't touch the ground, then go ahead and place a block underneath it. Turn their torso slightly over the extended leg. Big inhale, reach the arms up. And keeping the spine nice and flat, begin to exhale, leaning forward as if you were reaching for something. Another inhale, roll longer. And then as you exhale, release the hands down to strap or leg. You want to strap the ball of the foot, keeping the toes spread. Bringing the hands back on the strap so that the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Inhale here. And as you exhale, you can go ahead and round the spine. One vertebrae at a time on an inhale. Begin to roll yourself back up. And we'll switch sides. So extend the left leg, bending the right knee, and allowing that right knee to open out to the right. Inhale, reach up. A slight rotation over the left leg as you exhale, flat back down. Again, keep reaching and reaching forward on the inhale. And then exhale, lower the hands down to your strap or leg. Keeping the spine nice and tall. Another inhale, reach forward. And this time as you exhale, you can go ahead and round the spine. Roll yourself back up. Place your props off to the side, keeping your blocks in front of you. If you have any knee sensitivity, you can place a blanket down in the middle of the mat. Otherwise, come onto all fours. So come into your cat-cow, your tabletop. Spreading the fingers wide. Straightening the arms. The knees are about hip distance apart and they're directly underneath your hips. Tops of the feet rooted down into the mat. The toes are spread. As you inhale, drop the belly. Lift the chest, lift the gaze for your cow pose. And on the exhale, press into the palms to curve the spine and tuck the chin. Inhale, come into your cat pose. Really pull the heart through the gateway of the arms. As you exhale, press into the palms for cat, like a Halloween cat. Take a few more on your own. And then after your next cat back, so after your next exhale, come back into a neutral spine. Bring the big toes to touch, spread the knees wide, and begin to sink the hips back onto the heels, coming into child's pose, reaching the arms forward and lowering the forehead to the mat. Several options here for your child's pose. You can bring a block underneath the head, or you can use a blanket behind the knees. So come down onto your child's pose. Child's pose is available to you at any point. Inhale. And then as you exhale, gently come back to your tabletop. Make sure the blocks are nearby, placing them on the mat. And from table, step the right foot forward. Come high onto the blocks. So we're in a low lunge. Again, you can use a blanket under the knee if this is uncomfortable. And try not to dump into that front leg. So really press into the foot to lift. Maybe bringing the block slightly back so that you can place the hands or the fingers on the blocks, ensuring that that front knee is directly above the ankle, spreading the toes, relaxing the shoulders. If you feel slightly unbalanced here, you can tuck the back foot. Inhale and exhale. One more. If the foot is tucked, untuck the foot. Bring the blocks back to the front. Plant the hands on the mat. And then step back with that right foot. So you're back into your tabletop. Engage the low belly, take an inhale. And as you exhale, step the left foot forward. Again, coming onto the blocks. And bringing the blocks back if you feel that you need a little bit more balance, or if you feel that your torso is dumping into that front leg. And the level of intensity here is really up to you. This is quite fine, and you'll feel a stretch right on the outside of that back thigh. Gliding the left hip back and the right hip forward, so evening out the hip points. Pulling the low belly in, so you're cinching the low belly up and in. And again, level of intensity, perfectly great here. If you did want a little bit more of a stretch in the hips, keeping that engagement in the low belly, you can begin to walk that front foot forward as you allow the hips to come forward just a little bit more. But keep that engagement of the low belly and keep drawing the left hip back and the right hip forward. Big inhale. And as you exhale, make sure that you're nice and stable. Plant the hands onto the blocks. Straighten the back leg. Okay? Bring the weight into that left foot. Pick up that back leg and step forward. You're in a forward fold here. So bend the knees enough so that your torso is resting on your thighs. As we inhale, we bend the knees, begin to lift the chest for a flat back, reaching the tailbone down. And then exhale, straighten the legs, fold forward. Bringing the hands onto the hips, bending the knees deeply. As we inhale, we reach the chest up, coming up with a flat back. Come to the front of the mat. in your Tadasana. You can keep the blocks there. Our mountain pose. Spreading the toes. The knees are pointing forward. And stack your spine nice and tall so that the hips are directly above the heels. The shoulders are directly above the hips. And the ears are directly above the shoulders. Too often we tend to slouch forward, and that weakens the muscles in the back. So come into Tadasana, engage the legs, feel the energy coming from the ground all the way up the legs. Inhale, reach both arms up. And as you exhale, begin to sit back as if you were sitting in a chair in our Utkatasana, fierce pose, awkward chair, spreading the toes, not allowing the knees to sink in or splay out. So the knees are facing forward. You could always bring the hands in front of the heart. And check in with your low back. Reach the tailbone down towards the spine to keep the low belly engaged. Lifting through the chest. Sink a little bit deeper. You start to feel a little fire in the thighs. That's great. Big inhale. And as you exhale, press up to stand. Release the hands. You can place the blocks off to the side. And come to take a big step on your mat. A big wide step on your mat. Doesn't matter which way you face. Reaching both arms out to a T. Take a look and see if your heels are somewhere underneath your wrist. So this will be your width here for our next few poses. Bringing the hands onto your hips. Turn the left foot towards the front of the mat, depending where you're facing, or the back of the mat. And spin that right heel back so that the toes are at a diagonal to your mat. That back hip, that right hip, is going to come forward slightly, but your torso is still facing the side. Inhale, both arms out to a T as you look over your left fingertips. And as you exhale, lunge into that front knee. And try to lunge towards the back of the foot, so the pinky toe side of the foot. Spreading the toes, pressing through your big toe mount. Not allowing that back foot to lift up. So gluing both feet down, inhaling both arms out to a T. Warrior 2, lifting the chin slightly. And pull that low belly up and in. So the front of the pelvic bone will come up towards the belly button. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten both of the arms. And then exhale back to Warrior 2. Inhale to straighten. And exhale, Warrior 2. One more time, inhale, straighten. So really press into that left foot to straighten the leg. And exhale, Warrior 2. Making sure that when you're lunging, that knee does not pass the ankle. If it does, take a wider stance. Bring the hands back onto the hips. Straighten the left leg and parallel your feet. Turn the right foot towards the back of the room and spin the left heel. Okay. You want to have a heel to arch alignment. So that right heel, if I were to draw a line, would come straight back to the middle arch of my left foot. Inhaling both arms out. And exhale, lunge. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, lunge. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, lunge. Once again, straighten on the inhale. And exhale, lunge. Relaxing the shoulders. Making sure that the torso, the shoulders are directly over the hips. One more inhale here. And then exhale, drop the hands to the hips, straighten the leg, parallel their feet. So heel toe their feet together. And come to the front of the mat. In your Tadasana, mountain pose, inhale, reach both arms up. And as you exhale, swan dive forward. You can bend the knees as you come down enough, bending the knees enough to plant the hands onto the mat. Inhale. And then exhale, step back into your tabletop. Take another inhale. And as you exhale, sit the hips back. Reach the feet forward. And come to lay on your backs. In constructive rest once again. Lifting the hips up slightly, bringing the tailbone down towards the heels. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Take a little sway side to side. Little hip circle. Maybe a happy baby. If you're taking a happy baby, keep the knees bent. Open the knees wide so they're by the armpits, and then grab onto your ankles or your feet. And take a little sway here side to side, or stay in stillness. Come back through to center. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then as you exhale, release everything down onto the mat for Shavasana. So both feet are splaying out to the sides. The arms are alongside the body, palms facing up. And take as long as you like. You can stop the video here if you'd like to continue your Shavasana. Otherwise, bending the knees, rolling over to any side, using that arm as a pillow. Pressing into the palms. Come to any comfortable seat. Bringing the hands together in front of the heart. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be filled with joy. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Namaste.